What's up, everybody? This is Shannon, Tony, and Melissa, and we are back on the curve.
Woo! Woo!
Yes, indeed, it is real women having real conversations, and we are here to discuss the latest hot topics, what's going on in our community, and all wonderful things that are happening with you. This is a live interactive show, so please, please, please the broadcast. Please share the broadcast out. Make sure that your girls and your guys and your friends and everybody catches it. I want to make sure that my lovely hosts have an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Oh, I am Tony G. Campbell. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and the Instagram at Tony, the letter G, Campbell, and that's Tony with an I. And also, join me Friday mornings at 10 o'clock live here on Facebook on the Curve for our Fantastic Friday show.
Boop, boop.
And I'm Melissa. You can follow me at, I have a new one for you all.
Yes, come on, new Instagram.
It's called Saving Superwoman. That's Saving Superwoman. Yes, I'll share my story. You can go with me on this journey, this curvy journey, because boy, has it been curvy.
The road is curvy.
Absolutely. The road is curvy right now. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
That's it. That's really it.
And on Mondays, I do Motivational Mondays. And since Mercury has been in retrograde, I've been a little unmotivated. Let's be transparent. But you'll have a good quote up tonight. A good quote.
All right. And you can, of course, catch me on all social media platforms at Shannon Deneen and on my website, shannondeneen.com. And I think that's it. Are y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, guys. It's time for Word on the Street. Okay, so people, it is still Women's History Month.
Yes.
The month of the woman. Lots of good things happen in March, but Women's History Month is one of my favorites. And so we want to make sure that we talk about things that are happening with women, especially with women's health. Now, for any of you who have watched the show for any period of time, you know our lovely co-host, Tony G. Campbell, has been talking about discrimination, the discrimination that's happening at the doctor's office for a long time. Well, recently an article came out about the same. So Tony is not crazy, y'all. She is one woman among many who's experiencing
100% truth, people.
100% truth. So there was an article that came out, and there's a study out that's talking about how women who have higher weight are not going to the doctor because they are experiencing discrimination, and the doctors are basically telling them, you know, everything that's wrong with you has to do with your weight. Like nothing else is wrong. There's nothing else going on. It's just your weight. It's just your weight. It's just your weight. And if you've heard us for any length of time, Tony has been saying that over
and it's not the truth.
It's not.
Especially if I come in for a broken toe. It's not my weight. It's a broken toe, people. But they don't want to listen to us. You know, they just want to just look at you and say, oh, well, if you lose some weight, then maybe your knee won't hurt. No, boo, there's an issue in there. I might have a cyst. I might have cancer or something. Well, can you just check it out for me? I'm not here for any, just random things because I have to pay you a copay. So I'm not going to waste my money, coming here and you don't listen to me. I need doctors to listen to everyone, especially male doctors. I need y'all to listen to women.
Absolutely.
But I've been finding, I have female doctors and they'll still say that whole thing, you know what, well, what's your nutrition like? Okay, it's not my nutrition, it's my shoulder. No, not the one. No, not the ones I have. But
the people on Facebook are co-signing.
I've had one black woman doctor, and she's still talking about my weight.
People are co-signing. Headache, lose weight. Toothache, lose weight. It ain't my.
It's
my
not.
My teeth.
It's exactly.
Are hurting, and it's awful.
It has nothing to do with it.
It has absolutely nothing to do with it. So, and it's not. Here's the thing. Not that we don't think that weight loss is not important.
Absolutely.
Because being healthy is important, and there are studies that show, reduced weight puts less stress on your heart. It puts less stress on your lungs. So it's not that people are saying don't be healthy. It is just that everything having to do with your body does not have to do with the fact that you may be overweight.
And just so you all know, all three of us work out.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So we know about our weight. We're eating healthy. We're working out. We're doing good for our health.
Absolutely.
But things still happen within us that, we may need to go to the doctors for.
So my journey has been a little different with the doctor. Like, I read the article and everything, but I found when I went to a plus size doctor that was curvy, she didn't talk to me about my weight.
Oh.
She didn't talk to me about my weight. It never came up. And my sister and I were going to the same doctor. And I asked my sister, I said, did she talk to you about your weight? She said, never.
Here's
I
the
might
thing.
need her number.
I read an article that said a third of doctors, 33% of doctors are overweight.
Yes, and not just that, they're overweight, and a lot of them smoke.
Many of them
lot of them are
smoke.
And
smokers.
see,
They're
that's,
alcoholics.
I feel like that's very unhealthy.
And hypocritical.
And, I know,
Well, you can't
as a
see that.
hospital, well, yeah, you can't see it. Well,
But I
sometimes you
smell
can see it
you.
in
You
their
can smell-
skin.
But I smell you.
I was about
When
to
you
say,
walking in
smoking
from your
in
smoke
that
break,
junk.
I smell you. I smell you. I smell it on your clothes. I smell it on your breath when you are when you all in my ear. I smell you. Don't do that. So I smell you smoking, and then you have the nerve to talk to me about what I'm doing that's unhealthy. Don't do that.
I sometimes wish I could go to my children's doctors because they go to Children's Health Care of Atlanta, and they are a smoke-free zone. You can't even work there and smoke.
Yeah.
So, but I know that they do everything they can for my children. If I could bring my children in, I'm like, well, she's been breathing a little weird. I mean, they literally give them every single test because they know my children might have asthma, they might have pneumonia, they might have, and I appreciate that. I just need y'all to do it as long as they, when they become adults,
They also
continue
give
to
out
listen to them.
popsicles. They give out popsicles.
You know
Oh, they
what?
do.
I'm gonna go with that new snacks.
I'm just saying.
We are not talking
They
about
give out
snacks
these
in this
good
segment.
popsicles
We are
and
not talking
and
about
Gatorade.
snacks.
Like
no,
they
they do have
they
Gatorade
do
and graham crackers.
graham crackers.
They do give out. I love the graham crackers because they're
But you know what? The
cinnamon.
thing about it is, I think, and especially living here in Atlanta, my experience has been with primarily black doctors. For me, I'm gonna be honest. I was upset with one doctor. I was upset with my curvy doctor that she didn't talk to me about my health.
Why?
Because
Well, she didn't talk to you about your health, or she didn't talk to you about your weight.
my weight and the impact that my weight. Okay, so I don't mind sharing this. We just came out of February, which was the month that we acknowledge heart disease. And so, the African American women lead in heart disease. I am one of those people that's impacted by that. I've had 2 heart attacks.
Okay.
I had 2 heart attacks and a seizure. My first heart attack was at 32, and then I had one in August of 2018. I did not realize that had she connected my heart with my weight, like at this point in time, I didn't know that I had a heart issue. And so what ended up, when she ran my levels, we never really talked about my potassium deficiency. So I have a genetic disorder where I have a potassium deficiency. So your heart is a muscle.
Yeah.
And because I have this potassium deficiency, that's what caused the heart attack. Because
Really?
my levels, when my blood pressure is too high, it makes my levels go lower, and that's what caused the heart attack.
But not your weight.
However, yeah, because it was what I was eating. Some of that was what I was.
But
what I
not
was
your
eating.
weight, what you were eating and putting into your body. So
I
your
was
diet.
eating the wrong thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
your
but
diet.
it's still is
my
your diet, not
but
necessarily.
The more I weigh, the more water that I retain.
Fair.
And because when she just skimmed over, when you have your blood work, all of that is there.
That's
and it
true.
tells you, that's when they give you that obese, morbidly obese. And now that will make you depressed when they give you that thing that says morbidly obese. And I'm like, God, dog, I've been morbidly obese since 200 pounds. So now I'm over 200.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I felt like I kind of had an attitude because I felt like I could have taken preventative measures had she gone over my stats with me as far as my numbers.
Do you think that has more to do with the weight, though, or more to do with the fact that she, as a doctor, probably has about 10 minutes of actual care time that she can provide you? Because it sounds like she just did not review with you
No, we
thoroughly.
talked about it, honey. She had great bedside practices. We talked about my relationship. We talked about everything. And my sister said the same thing. She was sitting there with you for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes talking. But we never really talked about my numbers. And so by me having a heart attack, that made me look at my numbers just more. I was more specific at looking at what numbers and what numbers to research. Now, on the flip side, this new doctor that I have, and she's I don't know if I said this, from Married to Medicine. She's on that show.
Okay.
And she often talks about, like, weight is what she leads in. It makes me not even want to go. It makes me not even want to go in there.
Jackie.
I don't want you to look at my coot number 2 because you're coming in here.
And
so
the first thing you say is with weight.
You lead with weight.
Here's my struggle with Dr. Jackie, because she is a phenomenal OBGYN.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
But the struggle that I have with her is that, just like we're talking about, because she leads with weight. So I had a friend who, a queen, actually. She was, God, I can't remember what title she had at the time. But she's a plus size beauty queen, and so she runs in the same circles that I do. Shakiva Latrell. Beautiful girl, amazing. But she was at a celebrity bowling event that Dr. Jackie happened to be at. And if you look at Married to Medicine's first season, she was on there and she had an exchange.
And they were talking.
That's my friend Shakiva. Shout out to Shakiva, she's amazing. But they had an exchange. Shakiva is beautiful and amazing, and actually really, really, she has a very athletic build, and in wonderful shape. Like, in wonderful shape. But there was a discrimination and a thought process about her
because of her size.
Because of her size. And without getting to know her or knowing her at all, Dr. Jackie made a judgment call because she believes, and I get it, as a doctor, that is a thing that you're taught. However, what I understand through Dr. Jackie's journey is that she's had a lot of medical issues, and she's as skinny as they come. So it doesn't always have to do with
your weight.
It just
because I've met lots of skinny people
somebody meet me in the middle
who are always sick.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh, well, I eat healthy and I exercise," and I'm like, "But every time I come around you, your nose is running and you're sniffling, you're coughing. What is wrong with you? You still might need to get checked out. If you think you're healthy as, I don't even know what, healthy as a horse, you still need to go to the doctors." But my thing is that that's not the first thing that they're going to talk to you about. They're going to say, what's aching? Where does it hurt?
Absolutely.
Instead of, you know what? What's your diet?
Absolutely.
What's the last thing you ate yesterday? How do you work out at all? I mean, those are the questions we get when it's like, okay, can you just look at what I came in here for?
And I think you said something that's very important that I think people really need to understand. Doctors are wonderful people who have gone to school a very long time to get your money.
Not to get our money.
To help you, and then to
we
get
hear
your
what
money.
you're saying. We hear what you're saying.
But one of the things that you have to do, especially as a woman, is advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
You have got one of the things that you mentioned in your story was that you checked your numbers. You went back and looked and said, okay, let me determine. Let me see what these things mean, because doctors, for all intents and purposes, my best friend is a nurse, and she told me this. For all intents and purposes, doctors have about 15 minutes with you. They have about 15 minutes to give you all the answers to your questions, to fill out all the paperwork they need for your insurance. They have about 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, we may be able to go over your numbers exhaustively. We may not. We may be talking about your relationships and all your other stuff, and we may not have time. I may not have time to go through your numbers and notice, this level and this level probably means this. And if we cross this up, this might mean this. So let's be cautious of that. I only have time to look for the big stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, as a woman, what's super important is that you advocate for yourself. If you go into the doctor's office and something feels wrong, and your knee is hurting,
Yes.
and
My
you
knee.
said your knee is hurting, and your doctor says, well, it's because of your weight. I want you to
no,
look,
I fell off a bike.
I feel.
How about that?
I want you to continue to push. And yes, so here's the other thing. As women, we're often taught that pushy is impolite, right? We're taught
Yeah.
that you only
Don't be
go so far.
bossy.
Don't be bossy. Don't be pushy. Don't do this. Don't be that. Nobody else is going to advocate for you like you.
Yes.
Nobody. So your job is to be as pushy as you can possibly be. Ask all the questions you can possibly ask. If you have to hold them, if they seem like they're rushing, you need to say out loud in words, you seem like you're really busy right now. Do I need to reschedule so that I can ask you additional questions so that this session doesn't feel rushed for me? If you're feeling, take control of your own health, because nobody else is going to do that for you.
That's true.
Nobody else is going to do that for you. And make sure when you are talking to your doctor, ask for your test results. Look at your numbers, because a lot of times we don't do that either. We just trust that the doctor is going to give us what we need to know. Well, in all truth and honesty, they may or may not. I was talking to my dad the other day because I have really horrible migraines. And I had last week, now Melissa just told me because Mercury is in retrograde, the earth ain't got enough oxygen. And that's half the reason that I was experiencing these headaches, honey. I didn't know that, but I had one of the worst headaches, the worst migraines that I had ever had in life. And I felt like I was getting ready to go out of here, like really felt like that. But I talked to my dad, didn't realize that my father also suffered from migraines. So did my grandmother. So did my great-grandmother. There's a familial history there. And my father.
That's a good thing, because families don't talk about their health.
Exactly. But here's the thing. My dad went and he was just like, well, I didn't ask and I don't know. And I didn't this, that.
But even when you try and ask, some of them be like, well, no, I didn't do that. I'm not old enough for that. But yes, you did, Mama. You know. I'm like, I'm just asking because I'm experiencing this, and I want to know if it's hereditary or if it's something I need to figure out on my own.
Absolutely.
Don't be scared to share, family.
And
be
especially once you reach a certain age. I know my mother and I were having a conversation because she bought me a onesie for Christmas. And she said, have you worn your onesie? I said, no. And she was like, why not? I said, it's too hot. When I put that thing on in the middle of the night, I have this thing that just comes over me.
Like your own personal summer.
It's like Bermuda in my room in the middle of the night. And she was like, oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I think so. I said, so when did you start, becoming premenopausal? Because
I asked
that's
my
a
mom the
conversation.
same thing.
Absolutely.
And,
She didn't want to talk about it.
She didn't want to talk about it, but I again had to go back to my levels. I had some other things going on.
Yeah.
So when my blood pressure is up, it causes me to overheat. And I just get really hot. So, because I was like, am I going through premenopause or is this blood pressure? But it was blood pressure. But just in joking, having that conversation, you do need to have conversations
Absolutely.
around
I
what's
wish I had
going
some
on.
of that heat. I have like 4 blankets on at night. I'd be cold.
So I have low iron, and so I have that same issue.
But see, I have low potassium, and I didn't realize that,
Yeah.
that could cause heart attack. And I just learned that last month.
Oh wow.
Yes. And I mean, but I eat a lot of, I guess, foods that have potassium in it, but now I'm more aware to make sure that I get it in every day. Versus,
And your blood type also plays a part in that. Shout out to your vitamin lady. We have to have her on one day.
Okay.
She's absolutely fabulous. She explained to me how my blood type people with B positive blood type, they can have challenges with processing potassium. When I told her, she was like, "Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Make sure you take this, and that."
Mm.
Oh, see, now I
She's
have
good.
O positive.
Go down there. She has these sheets. She'll tell you what you're supposed to eat, what you're not supposed to eat, what will cause what problems.
I
Go
have an
see
app
her.
that
And what's
is
it
called
called?
Eat for
Your
Your
It's
blood
vitamin-
type.
Your Vitamin Lady.
Your
and she's
Vitamin
on
Lady.
Auburn
Vitamin Lady.
Avenue,
Okay.
right
Okay.
across the street, kitty corner to the old Ebenezer,
Okay.
right in that plaza.
Awesome. All right. Well, fantastic.
Okay.
So from medicine to messiness, child, we are from medicine to messiness. Who y'all? It's just been so. There's just been so much, and there is so much in this next story to unpack,
Please
child.
forgive me in advance.
I'm not. I'm ready for all this about to come
Yes.
from this right here. So, for those of you who don't know, actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin,
Aunt Becky.
I'm Becky
Aunt
from
Becky.
Full House.
Aunt Becky from Full House, child. Aunt Becky, y'all, from Full House, have been caught with 48 other folks in a college cheating bribery scandal.
Yes.
Admission scandal.
Yeah.
That has rocked our nation.
Oh, but you talked about affirmative action.
Come on,
But
listen,
your
don't go
kids
there.
weren't
We
smart
not.
enough
We
to
not.
get
Yeah,
Oh,
hello.
your kids weren't smart, and they wasn't talented enough. While you was
Listen.
redshirting them in kindergarten.
Listen.
She said red shirt.
So for those of you who do not know, let me just prep the story for the people who didn't hear. Lori Loughlin. Now I'm not sure how much Felicity Huffman paid, but Lori
She only
Loughlin
paid $15,000.
She only paid 50 because that's why you got to have a researcher on your
Yes.
team. She paid 15,000, but good friend Lori Loughlin paid $500,000
She
for
was
her two very
when
basic
they
average
got
babies.
caught-
Hold on, wait.
Who don't
on
even
the
want to go
boat.
to college?
With the
She
dean.
don't even want to go to college.
Listen, hold on. So her very basic average daughters who were not getting into community college, she decided that she was going to pay $500,000 for them to get into USC.
And
She
still
did
have
do
to
that.
pay for the college.
And she still had to pay for college, but then because she knew that her daughters were not about this college life, she paid this gentleman named William Singer.
Singer.
William Singer. She paid him to basically help her daughters do better on the SAT. So he would take the money, he would
No,
bribe.
her children were recruited as rowing people.
Oh yeah. No. But he helped them with the SAT too.
No, Felicity's daughter, they changed her
They
thing
changed-
from like 1,000 to like 1,400,
Yes.
something like that. They changed her SAT scores. Now he photoshopped their faces
He did.
on pictures like they were part of a row team.
Child.
Baby, and
Children-
they dumb as rocks.
They were up
And the
at
little
the
black
LA
girl
never
Fitness.
down in
touch a row.
Florida,
They were up at the
never
LA
touch a row.
Fitness roaring on the
Yes.
machine.
And the little black girl down in Florida, who first time out, want to say she was in the 9th, 10th grade, took it, got like an 1100. SAT, she's suing SAT now. Whoever the college people are, she's suing them because they turned around and because she went to an urban school district, they made her retake it. They said she cheated. There's no way she could have scored that high. And the second time, she got maybe 300 points higher. It was almost a perfect score.
Yeah.
And she said, I studied, I did the work, but y'all let Aunt Becky and them, y'all let Aunt Becky and them come and get over. Your kids, the water girls on the rowing team.
And ain't rolled a day.
Ain't rolled nothing. Don't even want to roll the roll of toilet paper that's in the bathroom.
At all. But they rowing at the school.
And the crazy thing is that Marsha Clark, the old prosecutor.
Oh, she in this too?
No. She was on The View this morning, and they were asking her about this whole situation and whether she thought that they were going to spend any time in jail. And she was like, no, I don't think so. Like, Singer definitely spent some time in jail. But because it's so many people that are behind all this that she's like, I doubt it if they spend any time in jail. And my issue with that is that I think I sent you an article about a woman who
changed her address.
was halfway, and she wanted her children to go to a better school, and it's just she had her children going to a school out of her district, which if you're homeless, I don't know how you don't have a district, you're out of your district, because everything is your district, and she is spending a lot of time in jail.
Yes.
So I want to know why. I hope Marsha Clark is wrong. They need to spend some time in jail.
Well, that's the thing about privilege. That's the thing about privilege. The reality is, privilege gives you access. These people have access to attorneys. They know to find a loophole. If they could give $500,000 for the little dumb kids to get in school,
that's it.
They can
Basic Becky.
$500,000 to have somebody defend them so they don't go to jail. How in the hockey sticks? Because
I know, but it's still lit. It's still lit, friend.
Well, they need to take that. They need to take that same $500,000 and pay for 10 other kids to go to college or something.
But the thing about it that's so hurtful is that this goes on. I was talking to someone about a high school here in Atlanta, and I think I've talked about this before. I don't know. So this child is in a system that is being provided special education services that I know of. And they're in a school, and they are in AP courses. They're taking AP courses.
Okay.
Now, the premises of special education is that we are now leveling the playing field in the education system. So that's why you get the extended times. That's why you get, because we're going to level the play. How are you leveling the playing field if you're an AP? If you got a 90 in all these AP courses and you're not even utilizing, because what's happening is what I've seen at the collegiate level is they come in being speech-only kids. They're speech-only, but they will get extended time. They will get modified assignments. They will get all of this extra stuff that really isn't needed, that advances them over other people.
Well, because that's what Singer was, that was part of his scheme too. He would tell the parent, take your child to a psychologist.
Take them to this psychologist who's going to give you this letter.
And say your child
requires additional time.
Like they're dyslexic or they don't need, so they will give you a lot more time and stuff like that.
But we don't have that, because in our community, special ed is looked down upon. So, or either we don't have the resources to go to someone that will give us an exceptionality label that isn't so detrimental.
Absolutely.
I was telling someone that a friend of mine gave me a call, and this is around that whole privilege attitude. Her son had to use the bathroom. You know, the schools have trailers. So the son was in a trailer. Teacher let him go to the bathroom. He's knocking on the door. Nobody comes. You know, there are no restrooms in the trailer. So he's knocking on the door. Nobody comes to the bathroom. He's wiggling outside, second, third grader. So you can imagine this. He can't get in the bathroom. School is still in session. So he goes over to one of the bushes on the side of the school. And he uses the restroom.
Why was the door locked?
They're usually locked. If the teacher doesn't give them access, that if they push the button and nobody answers, or either they don't have access, they can't get in. So anyways, he goes ahead, he uses the restroom outside. A teacher is going to make copies and sees him. So it's not like he flashed himself. He just went to take care of his business so he wouldn't pee on himself. So the teacher pulled him in and they wrote him up for sexual misconduct as well as indecent exposure. So is that something that we really want to do? That's something where we have to really advocate for our children in regards to the things we will tolerate and the things that we won't. Because this stuff right now, there is a private school where some of them got their children in, because my brother told me about it. He said, if you get your kids in this school, this school, this school, and this school, all the SEC schools and all your Ivy League schools, this is who they come to Atlanta to recruit. Well, one of those major schools was running a drug. I mean, the drug scene there was huge. The children were selling pills and markers.
Oh yeah, you were telling
us about the pills and the markers, friend.
Yeah, and I was like, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
The parents covered it up, and one of the children in this school that I know of, because we talk with different people in the metro, and no specific school district, because it's happening everywhere, said that the parent knew about the parent was a physician. The parent knew about the child putting the drugs in the
that parent needs to be in jail.
Marker.
However, along with that
donated to a foundation, and donated to the school's foundation, and it all went away.
That's how.
That is crazy.
No. That's how some of these in the bribery scandal. Yeah. Some of these colleges had a fake foundation. Yeah. No. The singer had a fake foundation, and they were donating to the foundation so that he could help others, bribe people so they could get their kids into school. Now here's the issue that I have. Here's where I struggle. I don't know if y'all remember, but a few years ago there was a girl. Her name was Abigail Fisher. Y'all remember Abigail Fisher? Y'all remember Abigail? Abigail Fisher. Yes. Let me tell you. I'm gonna give you a hashtag. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a hashtag. I'm gonna know you gonna remember it. Stay mad, Abby. You remember this hashtag?
No.
Oh, girl, listen. So
what year was this?
It was
about 2 years ago.
About 2 years. Abigail Fisher, with her little basic Becky self, got on the television, all up in front, crying for fragile white girl tears, and she was like, she was at University of Texas, I believe. She was crying all the tears, saying affirmative action.
She was trying to sue the school.
Yeah.
That part.
She started
suing the school, saying, y'all let all of these kids who didn't deserve to be here. Mind you, Abby
she didn't even have the grades, right?
She was around here making C's and D's, but she real average and mediocre and mad at everybody else. Now,
her mama should have had some more money.
Her mama was mad. Her mama was right there behind her, just. We going to the Supreme Court. Bad. Now, she was all in the cameras and all up in everybody's face talking about how she was angry that affirmative action had taken her spot from the school that she loved and wanted to get into, and this, that, and the third. University of Texas was part of this foolishness, by the way. It wasn't just USC; it was schools all over the country.
Oh yeah,
and
it
University
happens every day.
It happens all over the place. University of Texas was one of the schools, and so Twitter remains undefeated.
Here we go.
Twitter remains undefeated, and Stay Mad Abby has resurfaced.
Oh,
right.
Goodness.
Look. Stay Mad Abby has resurfaced, and one of my favorite comments was, "Hey Abby, that thing hit a little different when it's your own people, ain't it?" It hits a little different when it's your people and not the black people that took your spot, ain't it, girl?
That is ridiculous. You done faked that these kids and the thing about I found this quote. This is what I like. The best quote on this came from Sonny Hostin. How mediocre you must be to scam a system that disproportionately advantages you anyway.
That part.
So
I love me some Sonny.
I did not feel bad for Aunt Becky or the Desperate Housewives because they've been exposed. Feel bad for the children who were denied entrance because of their ridiculous behavior.
That part.
And their lies.
How do you... that's so crazy, and you get in here, and then they don't... But what the killer was, when the killer of all of this is when the story was rolled out, you were on a yacht that belonged to the dean.
That part.
Because she's friends with the dean's daughter or whatever.
And the dean's daughter. Yeah. And the dean, too.
They were wilding out. But the crazy thing is that the daughter, Lori's daughter, what was her name? She has this whole YouTube sensation. She's an influencer and all that good stuff. My thing is that, if her mother would have just listened to her anyway, because I tell people college ain't for everybody.
It's not.
And if she would have just her daughter never wanted to go to college. If you hear any of her podcasts, videos, all she talks about is partying. Every one of her little videos is like, "Oh, I'm getting ready for the party. Let's put on the makeup for the party. Oh, I'm going to party." And she even said, "Oh, I really don't care about school."
She never
so
wanted
you
to be
sat there and you wasted $500,000
Plus,
But isn't
Plus-
the
cost of
daddy
school.
Massimo? The daddy
Yeah,
is
he's a
Massimo in
designer.
Target.
Yeah.
He's in Target.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you wasted all that money to get her some places she doesn't even want to be. If you would just let her do her podcast and be the person that she was making money. Now she's losing her endorsement deals.
She sure is.
They just decked out her dorm room because she was making that part of her podcast and everything, and they paid for all of it, not the family but the
sponsor.
YouTube, the sponsors. And now she's lost all of that because you as a parent did not listen to your children, and I know
that's
she
a great
probably
point.
would have said, I don't want to go to college. College is not for everybody. And it's like, I know we were taught growing up, oh, you need to go to college and get a good job. People are going to college and they can't even get a job.
Yep.
And you see now, and the thing that kills me is that people who are qualified for jobs get turned down for jobs because they say, I want somebody with a degree. Now you got people with a degree who don't have education.
That's it.
So that's my issue, is that you have qualified people who can do this job, but you want a degree, and that degree doesn't teach you how to do the job.
It sure
See,
does
that
not.
$500,000, that was like 50 cents to them. You know, that wasn't a lot of money. That's why they did it.
Absolutely.
You know, it didn't really because let me tell you something, Milan Waller, if I give somebody $50 for you, and you gonna make a difference in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a big deal.
It
And so
wasn't.
with money, again, when you have access,
That's it.
it makes the difference. But see, that privilege attitude, the privilege attitude is what got them caught. Because again, had she been doing well or whatever, they would have laid low. But you're doing YouTube specials and all this other
But here's the
stuff.
thing, I don't know if the children knew that mama had paid all this money
They
for
knew- you know
but,
when
but
you
no,
don't.
but here's
You
the
know
thing.
when you don't.
No, but here's the thing. Who said this? I was listening to somebody and somebody said
you know
that
when you're
what
dumb.
a way to find out that your parents think you stupid as
Yeah, you know when you
Now the ones who had their SAT scores changed, they may have not known. But
Yeah.
if you're on a rowing thing, taking pictures like this, and you know they're recruiting you for a rowing team when you've never rowed in the water
I
in
think
your
those
life,
girls knew, and
They
that was
had
very
to know.
blatant, very
They
blatant.
knew, and that's why I'm glad they got caught. But my thing is, they need to go ahead and put them in jail. I'm for everybody going to jail now. If you're wrong, this is the season of going to jail.
Yeah.
and
Is it-
I was
let 'em
actually
join R and Bill.
I was about to say
They
I
need
was
to go. They need to go. They need to go. Because let me tell you, but I'm going to tell you who I'm waiting to see.
Who?
And I pray that he is not involved in this. I really do pray. But that is Puff Daddy. Because you know his son went to UCLA. And I really want to believe that he went on.
which one, Justin?
Yes, Justin went to UCLA and he played football for UCLA. He was not on a scholarship, but he was a walk-on. He was a walk-on going to UCLA, and I really want to believe that he was bright, but I feel like they're going to try to pull somebody brown out of this.
Did
They're
he?
going to try to pull somebody brown out of
Listen.
this.
I think
to-
I
if
need
he
you
was
to pay
involved,
whatever they need. Pay the
Please,
money. Pay the
please,
money.
please.
We don't want you to
I
see.
would
We
think
don't wanna
that they
see
would
you.
have brought them out by now, because the reason that these two, even though there's like 50 other people involved, the reason that Felicity and the other one, Lori, is out there is because I think they're the most famous of all the other people. Like, we probably won't know.
But see, y'all know how the story goes. There
First
can't
it's
be
gonna
too many of them, and not any of us. So I feel like there's gonna have to be. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, look at Harvey Weinstein and all of that going on, and then you got Bill, you got a bunch of other people. So my thing is, they're gonna find you will find some people of color that will be on this list.
Yeah,
I'm praying your cousins.
I hope
they're
it ain't.
banned.
I hope it ain't us. You know how you look when somebody says a sniper came in his
Lord.
stuff, and you just be like, please don't let it be
Wait a
us.
minute.
Please don't let it be. I don't want it to be us. I can't handle
I
that.
hope it isn't, because
Did he? Don't do it.
Yeah, I
I
hope
hope he
he's
Whoever,
not
paid.
involved.
however
You
much they
gotta
asking you for, pay the money.
Listen,
Pay the money.
please.
Pay the
Please.
money.
Pay the money.
Pay the
Don't pay
money.
no more money.
Yeah, pay
That's
the
what
money.
got them into this, is paying the money.
Don't let it be you.
Stop
'cause
paying
you-
the money,
I'm
you-
people.
They
praying
will run
that
you in the
boy-
ground.
Well, he graduated. That's the thing. Justin did graduate
Oh,
from
okay.
UCLA.
Okay.
So is great. They will have to really go and dig, but I'm like, he was the first person that came to my mind when they said USC. Her Snoop's son went to USC. Diddy's son went to UCLA. I was like, oh, they're gonna try to.
Well, I heard that what's his name, Jared Kushner, Bianca, what's her name? Trump's son-in-law. That his daddy, you know, that's how he got into Harvard.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That doesn't, you know, all these Harvard people that I see, that doesn't surprise me.
I'm like, is Harvard even as good as it say it is if people just got to pay to get in?
That's an excellent question. We are going to take a very quick commercial break. We're going to read through some social media comments, and we will be right back after this with more of The Curve. right, guys, we are back with more of The Curve. From messiness, honey, back to medicine.
Yes.
Back to medicine. So we have a story here. So for you all who don't know, the show Shrill
Yes.
is out. Have y'all seen it?
80 baby.
Okay, yeah.
I love her.
All parts of that is good. But they had a topic on that really like touched my spirit.
And it surprised the heck out of me. I was like, what?
Mhm. So there is so if you read through the instructions on the Plan B pill, the morning after pill, for those of you who are not familiar with Plan B.
Well, we should say on the show, she had sex,
Talk through that.
unprotected sex,
Talk through
and she did not want to be pregnant, so she ran to the it wasn't the CVS, the pharmacy, and decided to purchase the Plan B pill.
Okay. So, but what she found when she made that purchase is that the Plan B pill, quote unquote, is less effective for women over 165 pounds.
Yes.
They do not make that very public.
Not on the commercials.
They do not make that public. So I felt like it was our duty to talk about and to share the Plan B experience because
people don't read.
Nope, they
They don't read the fine print.
So a couple of things I wanted to share. Research suggests that Plan B is less effective in women over 165 or 175 pounds. And the research says that the more you weigh, the less effective it is. So women, for those of us in the 200s, it could be as little as 50% effective. So you really still just might be chancing it, girl.
You wasting your money.
I don't know if it's a waste of money because I feel like maybe having those hormones in your body just might. But just know that thing is a little less effective.
I need you to protect yourself before you give it up. That's what I'm saying.
That part.
That part.
And so I want to read this because I don't want to get it wrong. Plan B is an emergency contraceptive pill that comes in the form of one tablet that has 1.5 milligrams of levonorgestrel. That's a synthetic hormone. You take it within 72 hours after having unprotected sex. The sooner you take it, the better, and it stops the release of the egg from your ovary. Well, what happens? It's not an abortion pill. It's an emergency contraceptive. It just keeps the egg from implanting on your uterus.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The research is not totally clear, and they have not done complete studies on it, but they're just saying that 165 pounds, it may or may not be less effective. In women with BMIs greater than 25, which is by most standards overweight.
Everybody in Atlanta.
Everybody.
Everybody with a donk.
Yeah.
We are talking about you, sis. The FDA has addressed this, by the way. Just so you know, the FDA has taken a look at the claims that it does not work for women over 165 or 175 pounds, but are basically saying there's too much conflict, the information is too limited, and so they can't make a conclusive answer.
And don't be trying to double up either.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yes.
So doubling up is dangerous. It is generally recommended that if you are trying to, if you do not want to get pregnant and you need emergency contraceptive, that you do go ahead and take it, but just know that it may or may not work.
And then I think they say you also need to see your doctor, especially if you're over 165 or 175 pounds.
Dr. Shepard, who's the doctor that this article quoted, said, it may be tempting to simply double up on your Plan B dosage, but you definitely don't want to do this because it has not been studied, so you don't know what the outcome is, and you definitely don't want to chance it. So make sure that you are out here in these streets being careful because your girl did not know that, okay?
If you want to double up on anything, double up on the woman condom and the men condom. There you go. Double.
You don't double up on those, Melissa?
I have no comment.
Or you could just say no. Abstinence is a great thing, people.
I have no comment.
You have no comment? You want to say nothing to the people about the...
I'm just saying, protect yourself ahead of time. Don't be going out there having no crazy
That's a judgment,
drunken.
Tony.
It's
That's
not
judgment
it's
call.
not a
That's
judgment.
a judgment
It's
call
called
coming from a married
protection.
woman.
Hey, I used to be single. It's called protection, people.
I'm going to just say
Protect
this.
yourself.
I'm going to just say this. In college, I had my fair share of the Plan B pill. That's just real. That's just me
Now,
being
I've never
honest.
had the Plan B pill.
Right, that's why I'm saying that's a judgment call.
What I'm telling you,
You
sis,
still-
is listen, you do what you need to do
Protect
because
yourself.
one decision, one bad night should not ruin your life. It
And
just
Look,
should not.
you be paying for that joker for 18 years.
Don't
You-
trust
It's
him.
not what
This
you-
is not.
it's
Don't trust him.
I'm saying this is, you have to do what's best for you.
Absolutely.
And if he talking about he allergic to latex, then you move it on, girl.
What do
Keep it.
Where you get that from?
People, no, those are the lies that men will tell you so
What
they
about
don't
these
have to
women?
cover it
These
up.
women out here, a little out there in these streets as well.
That's what I'm telling her, to protect yourself.
Listen, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna judge you if you are out in these streets.
Listen,
My
I'm
thing
not
is,
judging.
Everybody has a moment in time.
we all have
Everybody has a
them.
moment in time.
We all have them.
But the thing about it is, are you being healthy with the choices that you're
Absolutely.
making? Because it from a personal experience with Plan B, it is not a joyous, fun ride. It isn't like this.
There are some side effects.
Yeah, there's some major side effects.
Nausea is one of them.
And it is like full on
It ain't
term
fun.
labor, and
It
isn't.
ain't fun.
It's not fun. And so the thing about it is, you have to be wise because you don't want to take the chance of it causing other things to happen to you due to your weight.
Now, here's what I will tell you. Plan B is not, it is emergency contraceptive. It is not the plan that you need to use all the time.
Some of y'all jokers taking them like you're taking vitamins.
Yeah,
Don't do
no,
that.
no, no,
No.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Please go get to your gynecologist or neighborhood health center and get yourself the ring, the pill, the
Some type of
patch,
contraceptive.
IUD, something. That needs to be your plan of action. This really does need to be emergency contraceptives.
Because if you're living in the city of Atlanta, I don't know if you
that
read
part.
about the CDC information that was released in regards to our HIV rates being higher than some countries in Africa.
Ooh.
HIV, gonorrhea,
those are
syphilis.
things the thing about it is we're not going to make judgments because the baby boomers are leading in a lot of our STDs.
They are.
More than
All
the
your aunties
millennials.
is going to church. This
Yeah.
them. This
Somebody-
them.
Well,
somebody-
because
Say.
you
You
know
have
they're
your cougars
they're
and
passing it
those-
through nursing homes. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they like, oh, we
Yeah.
can't get pregnant, so they're having all kind of
Yeah.
free
All
love
kinds of
Mama
happening
them
in
not
there.
taking Plan B, but they might need to take something else.
Right.
It's called a condom,
Auntie
people.
Bertha and Uncle
Put on a
Well, not
condom.
even that. They
are
have
at
things
the
that
nursing
are
home
through
getting
the
it on.
condoms. They have, STDs are just running rampant.
Absolutely.
Just because, people aren't they're getting caught up in the moment. And so that moment, in those moments, and especially everything that we have going on around rape culture, and really on both sides, whether it's someone that of a younger age or someone, your baby boomers, we still have to be aware and understand what's out there for us, the resources, as well as understanding, the healthy benefits of it. I'm a proponent. I am a promoter of sex. I am healthy sex, great sex, Christian sex. I'm not a judger because I think that oftentimes, and especially around the curvy woman, I see too many curvy women that are having sex just to be accepted.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so my
I hope
thing
not.
is we need to be our healthiest self so that we can have the healthiest sex in the healthiest environment.
And here's the thing. I think when we have these judgments, it contributes to the discrimination women feel when they go to the doctor.
Absolutely.
I think that there is a problem with thinking you're having too many partners or you're doing this. There's this slut culture that we have in this country that keeps women from being able to speak up and speak their truth and talk about what is going on with them sexually, because there is, well, if I tell my doctor that I've had 5 partners in the last month or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to get judged and she's going to think things about me and then this, that, and the third. When really your doctor is the person you need to feel comfortable telling this information to, so that she can help you.
I say be an ethical slut.
Yeah.
You can be an ethical slut.
My thing is be safe.
Because the word slut was made to be a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's not a bad word. We need to.
Slut?
Yes.
Look,
how does that work?
yeah,
Being an ethical.
Help me. I'm here to learn.
Okay, well, there's a book. It's called The Ethical Slut, and it's about basically being honest in your sexuality. No matter, if you have multiple partners, if you're doing, you just have to be honest. That's the ethical part.
Moment.
Oh, that was a narcissistic moment.
Because I knew that. I know.
But the book talks about what's that life of multiple partners and stuff like that. But it also, but it also talks about just being honest and transparent in your relationships. That's how most people need to have a good relationship. If I'm going to go be with this person, I need to tell them everything that I've done and everything that who I've been with and all that, because they are sleeping with that person too. You know what I'm saying? But if you're seeing Tom, if you're seeing Derek, and you seeing Jim, and y'all all doing all kind of different things,
because I don't believe in this Southern culture. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tell the people
that there are women in this Southern culture that will really be honest about their numbers.
But see,
that is not true.
But that's because they're being judged.
Listen,
if people stop judging people
on what it is to be a woman and what that looks like and what that feels like, I don't think, not with all this, let's put.
Listen,
I promise you.
I need you. No. Because see, this is a great host. This is a great guest that we have on the show. If you are out there and you know a woman who is not scared to talk about her number,
I'm not scared. And I told my husband knows exactly anybody I've ever been with.
Tag 'em in
because
the thing.
it's called transparency. Me and my husband are very transparent about everything in our relationship, and that's why I was able to go to him one day and be like, you know what, I don't think I want to be married anymore, and we worked through that, but if you're not honest with your partner, they don't know how to help you when you're acting funky and crazy, and they're like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You have to tell them what's going on inside your head and what you did with your body.
That's the perspective.
The Ethical Slut. I got to get
this
book
great
now.
book.
I got to get the book. I'm going to get.
And I'm not saying you have to go out there and live that life, but it makes you think about sex and sexuality and your sex life differently.
Because depending on the state that you live in, and someone told me this, and in one of the classes, I used to teach an ethics class at Mercer, and we were talking about what you have to expose when you have an STD. And ethically, there are people in DeKalb County. In DeKalb County, when you have, from my understanding, certain STDs, you have to be transparent with your partner prior to having sex. If not, you have broken the law. And I'm not talking about HIV and AIDS. Yes, those you have to tell. However, there are some other ones that you have to state. And when the students told me that, it's a law in DeKalb County.
Yes,
and it shouldn't even have to be a law. If people would just tell the truth,
because
then it wouldn't have to be a law.
Look at the girl with R. Kelly, and look at all of the things that we've seen with the celebrities and this whole herpes. In regards to them stating that they contracted herpes from these various celebrities, and they're suing them. Matter of fact,
because you know what? They didn't tell him. If that celebrity basketball player would have told that girl ahead of time what he had, then you're taking away her choice to say, okay, you have this, okay, I will still be with you or I won't be with you.
You have to have that conversation.
True, but it has to be taught to you as a child about being transparent.
Should we, and listen, I believe in having a good time as much as anybody. But should we be sleeping with people who are not sexually mature enough to have that conversation? Should
We
we
shouldn't
really?
be.
Should we be?
Nope.
Should
I'm
we
not
be?
saying I'm sleeping with somebody.
No.
I'm just saying, just in general, when we're talking about again, who's leading with these STDs being the millennials, Generation Zers, and your baby boomers. You're talking about two different groups of people.
Absolutely.
One where we just didn't talk about that. We just not gonna talk about it. And two, I don't know if I want to talk about it because you might tweet it out, you might put it on Instagram, So you
might put me on blast.
Right, you have two different groups of people that we have to talk about those ethical conversations and the
But
costs
are
that come with
we?
it.
So when we cannot have those ethical conversations, and we talk about this a lot, are we really living in authenticity? So if you so scared that if I can't talk to you and you so scared because I'm scared you gonna put it out there, should I really? Am I really living in my truth, and am I really living authentically? And if I'm not, is there not a problem with that first?
Yeah,
There
but
is.
let's talk about have you ever had this conversation about STDs with your parents?
Not with my
No.
parents,
See,
but
and
I
that's
have.
what I'm saying,
But see, that's
Because
what
my
I
mother
learned.
my mother is
Right.
absolutely old
So
school.
you gonna
with
tell
that.
your mother you're not being authentic?
Which, yeah,
Well, yeah, I
did
tell her
too.
that.
I did.
I tell her that
Yeah,
now.
I was like,
But-
you real holy lady. You it's a real holy.
But my 27-year-old son will tell you, he will be sitting out. I had blunt, straightforward conversations with him
Not
growing
with
up
him, with
because
your mother.
no, but I'm saying because I didn't have those conversations with my mother, I was like, I have to do something different.
But
That's
what
why
I'm
with my
saying,
child,
going back to would you today, not your child, because there's a different dynamic. And if we're talking about who's leading, because my conversation with my mom was, hey, these baby boomers are leading with STDs. You and your friends, when y'all go out to brunch, you need to talk to your girls about them. Matter of fact, them same condoms that you went and bought your nephew, you need to pass them out to your girlfriend.
well, I talk to my mom about that now because we're in that girlfriend stage.
Yeah,
I can talk to
But
her.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
talk
when
to
we
her about
talk
everything
being
now.
ethical and authentic, and you're seeing people that are dating these baby boomers. Those are the conversations that we have to have that may be uneasy, but that with all of the whole swinger movement and what's the people call the
polyamorous?
No, the people, the older woman and the younger man.
Cougars.
Oh,
With
cougars.
the cougar movement and the cougars and the sugar daddies. They're getting more than they bargain for.
Ooh, okay, I feel like I'm gonna stop this conversation right here. This is actually
This
gonna have
is-
to be. This is gonna be a conversation we continue at another period of time because I feel like I want to have a cougar on the show to talk to me about what's really going on with life. Yeah, I need that in my life. Okay, guys, we have had a fantastic conversation, one of which we probably don't want to stop, and we'll probably have after the show to talk about. But this has been an excellent show. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you like us on our Facebook page so that you can get the alerts when we go live. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is rebrand.ly/on the curve. Go to that page. Make sure that you subscribe, and so that you can catch all of our old shows and you can catch up on anything that you may have missed. Invite your friends, like, share, and subscribe. And I think that is all. Do we have any announcements? Anything we?
No.
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to be here next week.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Next 2
So
weeks.
the Curve is taking a little vacation, a little hiatus. You girls going out of town. We're going on. We got some things to do.
Yes.
Dr. Missy has
Need to finish this dissertation.
this dissertation she got to finish. So we're taking a little bit of a break next week, but we will be back after that with.
We're taking 2 weeks.
You're right. We take it 2 weeks.
Yes.
See, that's why you gotta have somebody
The
organized.
details.
You gotta have the detailed person on your team. So we're taking some time off, but we will be back in a couple of weeks with
The
more
8th.
episodes of
April
the Curve.
8th, people. Mark your
April-
calendars. We'll
Mark
be
your
back.
calendars.
April 8th.
Yes, for new episodes of the Curve. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week or 2 weeks. Don't
Read
forget.
The Ethical Slut the next 2 weeks. You'll enjoy it.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and don't forget to live life on the curve. Catch you next time. Bye.